For a long time as king of late-night TV, made a brief return to the spotlight that will always be his. At the Plaza Hotel, it was Here's Johnny. Johnny Carson came to pick up an award today from the Center for Communications, and it was vintage Carson, with a swipe at the Clinton travel scandal and the hiring of a distant female cousin to handle it all.
We both flew to New York from Los Angeles for $119 apiece. We booked it through the Catherine Cornelius travel agency. It's not a nonstop. You have to lay over at least 2 nights in Little Rock, and then you're right into New York.
The Center for Communications, which held the event, is a nonprofit educational group. As we've just seen, it also gets a few laughs now and then.
He's still great.
Overnight Little.
Well, late-night legend Johnny Carson picked New York for his first public appearance since leaving The Tonight Show last year. Johnny was here in Midtown to accept an award from the prestigious Center for Communications. And he couldn't resist a few pokes at the industry he helped shape.
I'm sticking up for television because I think it's a marvelous, marvelous medium, and I'm optimistic about it. Of course, as you probably know, an optimist in the entertainment business is an accordion player with a beeper. I knew you would love that. I noticed that Dan Rather is teaming up with Connie Chung. Tom Brokaw, we're going to do a show with Katie Couric. I suppose now ABC will jump aboard and team Roseanne Arnold with Peter Jennings. I can see it now, the bad and the beautiful.
He was the same old Carson. It was really terrific to see him on stage, wasn't it?
It is so effortless watching him. I mean, he just the master.
Well, he makes it look effortless, but it is really an amazing, unique skill.
Yes, it is. Not unlike this.
What?
Please.
A group that helps young media professionals. And he was honored for giving so many young performers their big break. Former late-night competitor Ted Koppel presented the award.
Ted, you went back to your chair. One of my great worries when I did The Tonight Show, I was never worried about the other shows. I was worried about Ted Koppel, that he would go to comedy.
Past award recipients include the late founder of CBS, William Paley, and Washington Post publisher Katharine Graham.
In the years since Johnny Carson turned over NBC's Tonight Show to Jay Leno, the former king of late night has kept a relatively low profile. But yesterday, Carson was the center of attention in New York as he accepted an award from a nonprofit group called the Center for Communication. CNN senior entertainment correspondent Bill Tisch was there.
So I thank you very much for coming today. It's been very special, and I'm very grateful. Thank you very much.
It was no surprise that some of the biggest names in television would show up to see Johnny Carson honored.
This is Dan Rather, and I'm Connie Chung.
We have an announcement to make. The third anchor of CBS Evening News.
Connie Chung, who Rather will soon be sharing his desk with, was also there, along with some other well-known faces. As for the late-night legend himself, he seems to be enjoying his role of retiree.
Retirement has been great. I've been to Africa for 3 weeks, going back again. There is life after television.
While some of television's top heavyweights were gathered here at the Plaza Hotel ballroom to honor Johnny Carson, the man who replaced him 1 year ago was not here. But the question on everybody's mind was, how does Johnny think Jay's doing after 1 year?
I think he's doing fine.
Do you have any advice for him?
Prayer. I think it's going to be interesting in the fall when all the shows go head-to-head.
One entry in the late-night competition, Conan O'Brien had this to say about Carson.
I mean, he's the standard that, everyone else is measured by. He's, I grew up watching. He's amazing.
This is the night show. Come on.
Maybe it was the live audience full of stars, or maybe it was a year of silence that had Johnny Carson once again launching into his much-missed monologue.
So I try to keep up with what's going on. I noticed that Dan Rather is teaming up with Connie Chung. Tom Brokaw, we're going to do a show with Katie Couric. I suppose now ABC will jump aboard and team Roseanne Arnold with Peter Jennings. I can see it now, the bad and the beautiful.
Bill Tisch, CNN Entertainment News, New York.
Johnny Carson's successor, Jay Leno, happened to be watching that last report in his office at NBC when it aired originally on CNN Showbiz Today Monday. Here's what Jay had to say.
I'm watching your show the other day, and Johnny was getting a well-deserved award in New York. And the announcer says, the man who replaced Johnny, Jay Leno, conspicuously absent from these awards, as if there's some nefarious. No, that was in New York. I'm out here. I send telegrams. You send flowers. Couldn't make the award. Had to do a show. But when it's reported, I mean, they sort of make it look like there's some kind of friction when there isn't.
Well, Bill Tisch is conspicuously absent from this interview.
I noticed Tisch is not here.
We'll have more with Jay Leno later today as he celebrates his one-year anniversary as host of The Tonight Show. Join Lauren, Sidney, and me for that story and the rest of the day's entertainment news later on Showbiz Today, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, 2:30 Pacific, right here on CNN. And that's the latest from Hollywood at this hour. I'm Jim Moray. Have yourself a good day. And remember, Bobby, Jay Leno is watching.
And Lauren is conspicuously absent from Showbiz Today, but she's in France.